Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non binary friends, and welcome to this. Me using up the little arm use I have, and I'll explain in a bit. But also, remember no matter who you are valid. And also, if you are a bigot, that is a terrible character flaw. But I just watched something that was amazing. I can't remember even why I had it queued up. I think it was a big. I think it was because it looked like one of those AI like SpongeBob songs. I can speak English. I promise you. I'm still just astonished. But it was queued up and ready to go, and it's been up there for like 2 days because I have a browser extension that'll queue up all your tabs in a list so that you can keep them forever and ever. Amen. And I just had it queued up and I decided to watch it instead of recording like 5 minutes ago. And it started off as an okay cover of Boulevard of Broken Dreams. It was good. Nothing special, but it was good. Then a third of the way through it, they went metal. And they went metal hard. And oh my God. I don't know who, boy, what is the channel. It may be the group. Boy, BOI, and then what. But that was good. I have it queued up and ready to replay as soon as I'm done recording. Holy smokes. While I'm not a fan of enough of anything to exclusively hyper-focus on it, I have turned out in my old age to really like metal. And so, I mean, metal is defined by, I like, well, just about everything I've heard so far. My favorite has been melodic death metal. But just about everything I've ever heard that was qualified as quote unquote metal, I've at least enjoyed, if not really liked. So, thumbs up on that. But it was good. So I'm going to be checking out and Googling boy what. But I just tongue-tied because I watched it and I'm trying to talk about it before my ADHD pulls everything out of my head. I remember I had said I'm going to talk about something earlier while I was leading up to talking about boy what. I can only remember that I said that unless it was about the nerve compression, because you have one track of thought when you have ADHD. And I've mentioned this a million times, but the things that I can remember are from a pretty small list. But oh boy, my nerve compression has not been good. It's still not good. It is 1 o'clock. I have been recording for 4 minutes. It has taken me until noon before I could say I was done and ready for the day. I have to be very, very careful or I can lose what little use I have of my arms right now. The nerve compression, spinal nerve compression and all that is just... It can happen. They can't definitively say this is what causes it. Because if what they suspect is true, it is something where the cause was possibly 20 years ago that are causing the issues that I'm having now. You can be in an automobile accident where you get hit from behind and it whips your head around. And that trauma up in here can start the process of extra bone growth. And you won't feel it. though it's happening, until suddenly there's so much grown around your nerves, and it's starting to squeeze so tightly that now you're getting the effects. But they've been going for 20, maybe 25 years before you're at the state that I'm in now. Though I've been a couple of years having to deal with it, but I'm still having to deal with it in a fashion that is not very fun. It is boring and awful to not be able to do things, and to do things only slowly and carefully. I can lean forward, and just that will set the daggers in my upper back because I stressed out the nerve. Lifting up my arms is mostly safe as long as I'm not extending my arms outward from my body and I keep them close. I can largely gesture how I would like, as long as it's carefully and I don't reach out of the safety zone. But even at that, I have to be careful. And as stated, even leaning forward improperly can stress out the nerves and send a burst of ouch. I did use a pillow. I have a pillow that I keep in my bed that on one side, if I sleep, it's behind my back for back support. And when I am in the other, I clutch it and use it to hold my arm up. So that means this arm has not had a support. Well, last night I went and moved that pillow underneath my arm. I actually slept through the night all on one side. So that's pretty good. But yeah, I need to use a pillow under my arms, which is a good idea no matter what. I wish I'd been doing it. That's not the cause, because this arm's been dealing with the issues as well. And this is the arm that I have had up on the pillow when I slept on this side. So thumbs up. But I just wanted to let everybody know what's going on. Yeah, they have to chunk out bone to free the nerve if you have surgery, which means they have to MRI really good just beforehand so they can figure out which bone they need to chunk out and how long a path. Oh, I am really, really not looking forward to it. One of the reasons that we're monitoring, and of course right now with everything going on, will there be any services at all or any kind of social safety net? We don't know. So that's another bit of stress. Which, talking about stress, my body reacts mostly pretty good to a lot of things. But when I've been stressed out these last couple of years, I have had a lot of issues with my balance, vertigo, when I'm out walking and such. And fairly recently, there have been a couple of times where if there hadn't been stuff to catch on to, or stuff behind me that I bumped into, it would have been all the way down to the floor. So that's fun. What else do I have up here? Oh yes, I mentioned one thing, how the new Fate series looks nice but has issues, and the older Fate series plays so much better, doesn't look as good. One thing I want to do for the channel is have like playing the one game for on this half, and then the same game, The Reawakened, for this half, just to show the difference between the two. Because, again, I like to show off things that I think are interesting because they please me. I'll never be able to show off things in a fashion that more competent people at this can't do or haven't done. I lost track of my English there. What I'm trying to say is no matter what I do, there is somebody that you can easily find on YouTube that explains it so much better than I can and do and shows off the things that I enjoy. I don't know if that's all check boxes clicked and then you can find that easily. But if you're looking for at least one or two of those, they're all out there. So when I show them off, I'm showing them off in a, hey, I think this is really cool, and I hope you think it's cool too kind of fashion. Not in a, I'm trying to I'm trying to entertain. Not in a, I'm trying to teach, there we are, or I'm trying to review, or I'm trying to critique, but in a, hey, I think this is neat, I think you'll think it's neat too, kind of way. Now, while I'm showing that off, I might be also going, here's some stuff I hate about it, or here's some stuff I think would be really cool if every game had it. And there have been times that because I was there as a consumer reading the magazines and watching the early websites, that I saw the techniques that they used to make a lot of these early games because they published that stuff. They don't so much anymore. That stuff's hard to find. So, thumbs up. But then it was also easier to collect back then because a studio might have been 15 people, whereas a studio now can be up to 400. So much easier for those techniques to be talked about in interviews, whereas now you'd have to basically get a whole studio together and have each individual person FAQ basically on their department and what they did. So, not saying that's better or worse, but, thumbs up. Let's see, do I have anything else over here that's actually fun? Well, the only thing that I would qualify as fun on that one is I have been still trying to think creatively when I've been out walking. And one of the things that I like to think about when you do prep is play for solo role-playing, I'm still doing world building for my solo RPG setting, which is still part of the inside-outside Razor's Edge setting I've got. But one of the races that I had been thinking of that would likely be out there on one of the continents that has extreme tectonic movement because of this war that occurs. A whole lot of lore there, but any of the larger fauna on this continent could not withstand the changes that were happening across the planet as this tectonic movement over the whole planet was rearranging what the whole thing looked like. And because there was a big vacuum from the larger fauna being gone, the more rodent-like ones fit the bill. And the largest one that had the maneuverable beginnings and the maneuverable in thought, beginnings up here, had the advantage and started to fill that role. And since rodents can, if you ever watch a good rat or a hamster, they can pull themselves back on their haunches and then just sit there and eat with their front feet or hands, paws. And then rats and hamsters can even stand up on their hind legs if they're curious to look around. they'd have back problems too, just like we do when through natural selection they become bipedal instead of quadrupeds. So now they're bipeds instead of quadrupeds, and they have filled the role of primate. So they're a large dominant species on this continent spreading outward, and I think very soon being a couple hundred years, soon they are going to come into contact with the people that I so much enjoy, the Apani, the Habani, and the Orkani on the continent of Karthkog. Now, there's not going to be a lot of huge conflict simply because these people are also a part of the continent of Karthkog. And one of the deep precepts that you have to follow is be good to the land, and the land will be good to you. And other people are also a part of the land. Warfare for conquest is a thing that is of darkness, and once it hits a threshold, will be punished by the land. And the land, being basically a metaphysical stand-in for the continent, is not going to use precise precision strikes to get rid of, oh, there's this one person that's a problem. No, it's more of a firebombing of a city to try and get rid of a problem. So if an entire people are a problem, it's going to be very, very bad for this entire people once the threshold gets reached. Nobody wants to see that threshold get reached for their people. So there will be conflicts of various kinds, but out and out bloody warfare, no. And hey, call to action time. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that would be very, very cool. Very awesome. Definitely a thumbs up on that. I also want to thank these people for playing the Marco Polo game with me that I do at largely the end of the videos. Nobody has to play this game. These people chose to, and I thank you very much. It's silly, but it is blatant engagement farming, but again, also a way for Marco Polo, and that's cool. So thumbs up and thank you. There is Big Fart 275, thumbs up and thank you. Salvatore Cincho, I do not know how the last name would be pronounced. I'm hopefully pronouncing the first name correctly. Hopefully it's not like something that I just plain don't understand, but 871. Then there's Jesse Koskinen. And we have Daniel Fuller, 8762. There is Gus Garrett, 6838. And I would say Christopher Eblin, 4437. But as we can tell from the second name that I had talked about, I'm really not good at pronouncing things. I'm good at pronouncing things that are largely, oh, this is my goofy thing in the way that I write it. And then I'll see it and go, oh, is this the way it's pronounced? And it's like, oh, yeah. Normal things, I don't know. Weird things, I'm like, oh, yeah. You see the pattern. So, yeah. Yay. It's fun being neurodivergent. Anyway, though, if you're a Patreon patron, thumbs up and thank you so very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. You are beautiful and awesome, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And if you've left me a comment, thumbs up and thank you so very much. I read as many as I can. I thumbs up and heart as many as I am allowed. I answer as much as I can. So thumbs up and thank you so very, very much. You two are beautiful and awesome in your own way. Well, so I'm going to take care of myself today as best I can. I have on the 27th of this month, which is like 2 or 3 days away, a cardiac stress test. So there's a lot of stuff happening still. Thumbs up for that. Hopefully you can get done the things, though, that you would like to get done. That'd be very cool, but if not, please do not beat yourself up. It will not help you get it done better next time, and you deserve better. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. Once again, I am mostly back to being left-handed, which I've been that way for 10 years now. Life is fun. Life is fun also when you sever your radial nerve, so don't do that. I did, and I do not recommend it at all. My hand was paralyzed for years. Thankfully, nerves will regrow, and it's taken a long time. But thumbs up for that. Anyway, you take care, and I'm going to click the stop recording button now.